And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, on to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's second down and 8. On play action, McCarthy. That one complete to Naylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
The extra receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Finding Hockenson here on the out route. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles, knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Troy Anderson, the man on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That good for 22 and a first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in.
There's Hockenson in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Vikings put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
This is where, as a tight end, you've got to really sell that this is a run. They're going to fake the give, hope the linebackers bite, and here they do just enough. That split second, that's all it takes for that tight end to leak out into the end zone. Touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Falcons offense set to go. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They'll throw with Penix. He's got the hook up to McLeod. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. Here's Penix. That is caught. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Penix working out of the gun here. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It's a pickup of 6. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
He's got room to roam, and he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Michael Penix, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
This is a great decision right here. Out of the pocket to his left, and he knows if he waits too long, the defense is going to be all over him. So he makes a decision to go and wins the race to the pylon.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Throwing is McCarthy. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Jefferson has his first catch. He also has a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one. Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 21, here's the 2nd and 9. And looking to throw, Penix. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Looking to throw, Penix. That's out wide here for Robinson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Now Penix. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has the better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. They'll try and throw. Here's Penix.
Forced out to, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Michael Penix
With his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota.
That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his feet as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there, let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs.
Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. You don't see that a ton, do you? Where the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 36. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll go again to Jones.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, it will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. McCarthy operating from the gun. And that will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And this one is right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. That's out quickly to London. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 5. And they'll send the tight end in motion. To the air, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. 2 yards on the pickup there. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On 3rd down, Penix from the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this first half, and on 3rd down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
Penix to the air once more. Over the middle, caught by London. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
His throw incomplete. Kyle Pitts, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on 3rd down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the 1st down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
2nd and 9 now. That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. An inside give to Jones. And down to the 41.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw McCarthy. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
My, if maybe that ball is 2 yards shorter, it's going to give them the lead because he had a receiver running free there. That's a tough one to miss on.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Back deep, Ray McLeod. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And here now come the Falcons. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They're going to look to throw. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. From the shotgun, it's Penix. Looking deep here for Mooney. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now McCarthy. Throw out wide is incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's McCarthy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. To the air with McCarthy. And that is incomplete. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Here's a screen for Robinson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Here's Penix. Sets up the screen to Robinson. Oh, able to avoid him. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw with Penix. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot. You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
This is caught by Robinson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. And looking to throw, Penix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll try to throw again. Here's Penix. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Second and 7. Looking to throw, Penix. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Penix. He's got it. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Falcons offense ready to get going to begin this 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sack by Andrew Van Ginkel. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the 3rd quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
2nd and 10.
Now the toss to Jones, running right. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
3rd and 5. Throwing is McCarthy. That is caught.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the 1st down.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
McCarthy off the play fake. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Falcons are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
To the air, Penix.
And he'll find McLeod on the right side complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
They'll go play action here with Penix.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. So the completion good for just 3. And it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
They'll look to throw again. He finds Robinson.
He's got room at the 30.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the 1st down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4.
He'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Touchdown!
Drake London.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Falcons are able to stretch out their lead.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Running right, Jones.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. McCarthy.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
Atlanta regains possession of the football.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And caught by London.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
Throws right back to London. Complete again.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 6. On the counter, this is Robinson.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Looking to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Oh, there's a nice move by Robinson. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 59 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10.
They're going to look to throw.
Complete to Mooney on the slant. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
He'll drop to throw. And he'll just get rid of it.
Great coverage down in the end zone. He's scanning the field, looking. No one ever came open. So in the end, he makes the best decision and just fires it over the end line.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Robinson up the middle.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They'll try and throw. Here's Penix.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo.
From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
Koo knocks this one through the posts, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. To the air with McCarthy. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Up the middle, Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Again, it's Jones. Dances by him.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 123 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a 2nd and 10. That's to the left side where he's got Naylor. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 24-yard line. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. On play action, McCarthy. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll throw with Penix. Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 49 yards. And the Falcons have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Yeah, able to elude one tackler, but only gets this back to the line of scrimmage. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Here's McCarthy. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Looking to throw McCarthy. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And looking to throw, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jefferson moving in motion left. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. From the 22 now, here's a 2nd and 7. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Complete. Jefferson the target. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
The offense on third down tonight, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That close on third down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
They work now on 2nd and 9. A play fake. Now Penix. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
From the shotgun, it's Penix. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones.
Takes it to about the 37.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Throwing is McCarthy. This one brought in by Jefferson.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 9. Now McCarthy. Middle of the field to Jefferson.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
That one complete to Naylor. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 16. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
And this one incomplete, threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. The give is to Jones. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 140 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jordan Addison, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have cut it back within a score. So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And just shedding him off there. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Falcons ready to take over. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 7, 1:47 on the clock. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. To Jefferson on the slant. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the 1st down, but I thought that was the key.
Here's 2nd down and 3. On the delay, Jones. And he'll go down at the 28.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Here's 1st down. He'll look to throw. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Clock under 30 seconds now. Here's 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Well, just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches. Back to throw. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Here it is, 4th and inches. Going for it, here's McCarthy. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.